All right. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I was just posting some stuff. It's all the different things, but yeah, I recorded an all play episode earlier, and I was just talking about some of the updates I was making to starter packs over the last couple of weeks, I guess. And I was thinking I was like couldn't really rest on it. So I figured I'd come down and maybe start chipping away on some of the SEO stuff I was talking about. Basically, there's a lot of areas in the site right now that is using infinite scrolling to basically, keep adding to either like follower list or the number of starter packs or any of these other lists that are kind of long. And anywhere that happens on the site is basically, well, right now, the way it's set up is there's no way for a crawler to essentially discover any of those additional profiles or followers or starter packs or whatever. So I'm going to try to update some of the components that I'm using to where essentially I have this component that as it scrolls up towards the viewport, it's using intersection observer, and it is firing the next page. So I need to make sure that that thing also has a link on it that will take it to a page. So I'm going to be making a bunch of kind of like nested pages that can support pagination. And those really go everywhere. So like a profile is going to have following, followers, starter packs in. So it's really going to expand out the number of pages that are just on the site. And hopefully I can make it in a way to where in the event that someone does run across these index pages with these things, that it's still a good experience for them to get back to the infinite scroll or figure out a way to recover if they end up going like 2 or 3 pages in within one of these collections, I guess. So that's what the plan is, and I figure I'll just get started here. So I also have some tunes jamming over on Spotify, and I also figured I'd pull up try to resurrect a little bit of this play streams thing I was playing around with before, but basically, like, that's the track that's currently on, and you can find the link to the Spotify jam, hopefully in the chat, depending on which platform you're on. And then I also posted it as a reply on Twitter. So, pull that up, and it should stay pretty close to what I think is playing. We'll see how well it does. I had to kind of like shuffle around some different ports across all my local projects that are running. But it seems like everything's working, and it also seems like my session is staying fresh on Spotify to kind of keep that live. So hopefully that'll keep jamming there. But yeah, might as well get into it. So let's see. Let's make sure the right code space is up. Yeah, it's not the right code space. There we go. Seeing that. Yeah, I see I was doing support stuff. So yeah, I'm probably going to start with the profile since that has like the most straightforward pages to navigate around. And it actually looks like I think I already started kind of scaffolding this out a little bit. Essentially, I have this starter packs page that's nested under it. I have starter packs that you're in, and then also obviously starter packs that you've created. When running some of the numbers on the starter packs that people have, there's people who are in like thousands of starter packs. It's really wild. I think I guess we'll try to, maybe I'll make a scoreboard for that, a leaderboard. Right now I just have the leaderboards for for people who have joined via starter packs, but maybe I should have like a leaderboard for the person who's in like the most starter packs. I could probably put that together pretty quick. But okay. At first I wasn't sure if the audio was actually coming out. But yeah, so yeah, let's get jamming on some of this stuff. I actually don't think I'm going to start with starter packs. I think I'm going to start with, let's actually look at the site real quick. I'm just going to go to like my profile on here. All right. So let's just start with follows, because there's some paging going on there. I don't know if I have to, oh, actually, wait, I actually do need to, yeah, this isn't going to work. I need to refactor some stuff here. So we're going to have the actor. The current actor will be the index under here. Sure. And then we actually need to nest all this stuff under here. So we have our routing set up. All right. And actually, I'll just pull up the, oops, that's not what I wanted. Make sure that these are actually, yeah, they didn't quite update right. There we go. And definitely, if anyone has any questions or stuff, as like, I'm like jamming through some of the stuff, just toss them in the chat and I'll try to, I'll try to be mindful to go back and check it out. I actually need to see if there's a way to, enable like little sounds or something when you get a new message in the chat. I don't know if there is, but that'd be nice. I don't see anything right now. Oh yeah, play app sounds. There we go. Guess we'll see what happens. You can start spamming me if you want. Let's get ring-a-dinged. Cool. Yeah. So, oops. What happened here? Can I have the same? Oh, I see. Next wasn't happy with me changing that while the site was being served. But yeah, we'll get it back. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So, and actually, I can show you. So we have this follows results. Sorry, my chair's been noisy. This is essentially the component that we're going to have to end up updating a little bit. This in-view fetch, all it really has is it takes this like is fetching prop and then an on in view, which is basically just using like intersection observer. It's really kind of like a pretty dumb component. But essentially it initiates an observer, and I set like a pretty big threshold on it. So if it gets within 1,000 pixels of the bottom of the viewport, it'll initiate the request. The idea is that if you're scrolling pretty fast, that by the time 1,000 pixels starts, before it actually gets to the true bottom of the viewport, that next page has already loaded to try to keep it fast. I mean, obviously it's going to be connection dependent, and also will slightly differ depending on whether you're on desktop or mobile, since desktop has like 3 wide, and so the pages are like a little bit smaller on that front. But it doesn't really have anything. This is where basically it's like, if it is fetching, it'll show a spinner. If not, it doesn't have anything. But this is like where eventually we're going to have some sort of link that the crawlers can grab onto in the event that that we want them to follow. And so I'm not sure if I'm just going to basically like chuck a chuck a link in here and then have like an href on here, and then I mean that would be like the most straightforward thing I could probably do. And it's not from NextLink, it's actually from components. Yeah, base. That would definitely be the most straightforward, and I could maybe customize this link and title if we want to. I actually feel like I need to brush up on my SEO optimization stuff, but I know the link alone is good. Sometimes I wonder about the actual link in the copy within the link, and then also if you end up throwing like a title on it or anything like that, like does that help if I say like go to page 2 of Ryan's followers, like Ryan Hefner's followers? I'm not sure. It might depend on what's actually on that page, but that's the basic gist right there. I guess for now I can just make these the href optional and only render this if I have an href. Actually, let me change the way that these are kind of set up here. I feel like yeah, we'll see. This also could be one of those things where maybe I just make this component really unopinionated and I just actually accept like a children. That's definitely an option. But I don't know. I guess we'll play around with it. But as I'm just freestyling here, but that's some of my thoughts right there. It's still going to have the basic functionality. Just because I don't want to have like a user shouldn't care about this, and also ideally they never see any of this stuff that gets rendered. If anything, they might see a spinner. But I think that would be it. And also I would maybe if href and not is fetching, and then that would be like a good thing to prevent that. And similar to this, like not is fetching and children, if not null, something along those lines. But essentially, like if you're scrolling, likelihood is that request is going to be going off. You might see a spinner. You wouldn't want to see the load more, and nor you want to see the children if we end up passing the stuff in that way. So that's the gist. So I need to make these pages. And part of me is like, do I just do the bare, like a super search engine optimized page where it's literally no images, no nothing, just like pages of links upon links upon links that it can follow? I mean, that probably would work, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess we'd have to see. If anyone who's listening has some thoughts on this, should I just do like some dirty links pages, or should I basically just like keep rendering like the profile cards as is and have all the images? I mean, if I do the links pages, they're going to load super fast, which might actually help in like Google's eyes as far as like them thinking the site is fast. I mean, it actually is pretty fast as is, but you know, nothing like being a little faster. But I don't know. We'll think about it. At the very least, these pages should probably have the layout for the rest of the site, so they have the footer and everything on them. So we're going to add that real quick. And we probably do want to do get server side props. So we'll figure out how we want to but yeah. Actually, let me change up the music a little bit. There was this other Loose Fur song up here that I was kind of feeling. Maybe we'll just play this album real quick. Oh, I need to bring you over to code view. Man, I'll get better at this, don't worry. I was walking you through that component. I'm like not even showing you the code. Yeah, this is what I was talking about basically. I need to move my editor up so you can kind of see it. Maybe I'll have to rethink where I got that song title stuff going, or I'll just move it over to this other window for now. The other. Make this the primary one. So yeah, basically super simple component, intersection observer, the 1,000 pixels from below, cleans itself up a little bit once it unmounts, and ended up adding this kind of potential for a link or an href to be passed into it, or maybe we end up composing children in. You know, the href is definitely optional, so it doesn't break any of the types on the existing stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I guess I might as well just like copy all this stuff here. Because at the very least, we should show the profile that these followers are part of. So I'll steal that. At some point, I should probably, I'll make these. So this next props thing is a little library I wrote. It's called Next Proper. It allows you to kind of compose these get server side props. I don't know. I'm still using page router stuff. I should probably move over to app router, but there's just some things I like about the page router still. So, but basically it allows you to kind of chain these things. So it'll do with auth, and then with auth can pass, for instance, user and the access token. And if we end up having those, we can do things here. And it's a kind of a nice way to compose these server-side prop methods. You could also, I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about adding some like little helpers so you can kind of like compose these things in different ways. So you could potentially have maybe one that you run in parallel, and then when that one resolves, it moves to the next one on the list. So you could actually have like 3 or 4 props things being fetched in parallel, but it kind of promise alls, and then you could continue that chain down just to kind of optimize stuff. But this works pretty good for now. So we got that going on. I'm just going to be like plucking stuff off of the profile page. I mean, I wonder if, let me go back to the site real quick. So the way I have these set up is like basically they're tabs. I mean, I guess if I didn't want to have to rewrite these things, I could almost like have like a slash follows, but it really just ends up slash follows or slash followers or peers in or starter packs, or starter packs in and starter packs. I mean, I guess I could actually have those as like, I don't know. I feel like the route, I feel like the route makes sense, but like how can I just like write less? Or maybe I should just write more. Yeah, I might as well. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna have to copy that much stuff. If I really want to keep it focused on just follows, I can just grab those nested things and add like a paginator to that page or something. Let's see here. Oh, this might get to where like maybe I break out and have like a profile header. That would kind of make a lot of sense. Let's see, what should I grab? There's a follow button, this view in Bluesky. So basically, I could grab all this and make it like a profile header. Is the flex in there too? Yeah, container and all. Oh wait, container. Oh, I see. I probably would want that. Or no, we'll do this. Yeah, no, that shouldn't be part of the profile header. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Let's see, what do I have components here? So yeah, I'll go back to code. Sorry about that. So let's do this. We'll do a profile header. Oops. We'll clean this up a little bit. Container. Come on. Where's my autocomplete? Come on, people. Give me a little autocomplete here. I guess I'll figure out everything we got going on here. That might help it out a little bit. There we go. Took long enough. Spoiled. So let's see. A few things we need to pass in here. Some styling stuff. Move this over here. Just start plucking stuff from here. So I know they got that text color there. Basically just a bunch of like dark mode stuff. I guess technically we'll have that indicator there. Actually, no. Let's keep it really focused and maybe create like an H1 that's like Ryan Hefner's followers or users that Ryan Hefner follows or something. Handle ad click. Steal that. And steal that. The good thing is we'll be able to basically swap all that stuff out once we get the get this guy set up. There we go. We also need client, which we get from starter packs. Oops. So we can do that. Yeah. What else do we need? Looking pretty good. Is pending, is fetching, handle follow, all that good stuff. That's these use queries we got going on over here. These use starter packs. Use follow. Not used to the margins being so big. The scroll bars being so big. That's actually going to be part of. Got some states up here. These states probably need to be rethought, but they work for now. I've got to use Bluesky. So many contacts. And then we have the actor from the params. Important to have. That's the next thing. Set this refetch delay, which is basically a hack to, after you follow someone, got to wait a little bit before you request the profile again, because Bluesky is like still like purging their cache or something. You get a confirmation that the follow is good, but I think they still have to update some stuff on their end before it kind of fully resolves. With the query client. And that's coming from Tanstack. We're close. We're getting close. We have the refetch, which is on the use profile. So I need to add this over here. And we have to use profile, which is also coming from that little local lib. What else do we need? Follow text, handle follow click. Yeah, basically all this. And handle follow click, might as well get it all in one go. I'll add a little use memo up here. Eventually we'll. Okay. Let's see. Add that quick type there. Oh, looking pretty good. Man, this is actually gonna be pretty awesome if I can delete all that stuff from here. Guess let's see how this is looking. Let's look at reinhefter.com/follows. Ooh. Oh. What the? Oh, that's right. I just made the profile header, so I actually need to import this in there. Do we? I was like, really? We didn't get anything? Yeah, and we'll want to grab basically that. And actually, right now, I don't think there'd ever be a time when we don't get the profile. So this was kind of an earlier, I think this page was set up earlier on when I was basically doing a lot of server-side fetching because I didn't want to, I guess I was just kind of hacking stuff in, but then I wanted to start optimizing and get a little bit more server-side rendering again for SEO stuff. So I ended up setting up this. I don't think this would ever happen because we 404 in the event that there's no profile. So I think I can get rid of, move this up and get rid of all that kind of conditional check up here and basically do the same thing. Hope that's right. I guess we'll see. Also means nothing funner than deleting code. You don't need anymore. All right, so with that said, I'm going to grab just this stuff and we'll replace what we got going on over here. And we'll close that. And we'll add some additional import site meta from next meta. And we got our profile. Eventually I will type all these things, but for now, kind of keeping it a little loose. Oh, looking pretty good. Now I might end up, do I breadcrumb this thing? I mean, essentially I could end up doing something where oh my gosh. Are you serious, man? I'm so sorry. Ecamm, what's going on? I'm just going to close out of all those other ones that they got going on because you just can't keep it straight. Might have been getting like a little sneak peek of some other stuff I want to start working on, but I'm not letting myself do that yet. So let's see. Let's go back here and see if this is causing problems. Not liking that. Let's remove these real quick. Oh yeah, when you throw that in a container. What is that? Not sure what happened there. Might have to. Yeah, maybe some stuff's going to get cleaned up here. Cool. So, yeah, my thinking is just throw this in a container real quick, and then we'll bounce over to the site so you can see what's going on. Still want to have a way to navigate back to like the full profile. I'm thinking. We're going to need more than that. Okay, so yeah, come back here. Essentially, we're on follows. We can get back to the full profile. That might be a little too much. We can probably just get away with the 12 here. I might not need the description here, but at the same time, it might be good. It's either this or like maybe something up here, or like I could also link the name. Oh, it looks like the handle actually links out to Bluesky. But I guess on this page, I could have it to where it links to back to the starter pack profile page, and then that one links out. A little funky for consistency, but yeah, basically I want something that can show up here. For now, I'm just going to go with these breadcrumbs, and then we'll get the follows results in here, but with the pagination and I guess query params. One thing that I ended up changing actually early on, and I'm wondering if this is one of the reasons why Google started like not indexing the site so much, is on the explore pages. So like when you search these things, like let's say I just do podcasters or something, I was having, because there's so many starter packs being created at the time, when I came in here and then started to, and I gotta fix some overflow stuff going on here. Look at that. Fun. Cool. Essentially what was happening is using just page numbers alone was causing it to where like when you go to the next page, you're seeing results from the previous page, because just packs were kind of, every time you requested the next batch, there's the likelihood that like another starter pack could like creep its way into the page one results, and then it would throw off page two. So I thought I was being smart, and now I'm using like, I don't think you can see down the bottom, but I have the legacy page two there, but actually it's using the cursor to navigate these pages. And I'm actually wondering if, because I started using the cursor, as opposed to just like something like very generic that Google would use, if that affects anything with like how they crawl the page. But I don't know. This is like, again, some of like this like SEO wizardry stuff that I probably need to get schooled on. Maybe I need to listen to this SEO podcast guest from majestic.com, I guess, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting how some of those things can play into this stuff. Also, it's probably just because I wasn't getting enough other backlinks. I think I had like a rush of backlinks in the beginning, and then they kind of fell off. And then other sites were getting more backlinks than what I was getting. So all this stuff plays into it. But that's, I don't know. You end up with all these like sinking suspicions about what is affecting stuff. And because it's such like a black box, it's hard to know. But we're going to get this going, and then we'll see where we go from there. And actually, I think the actual results in the tabs is using a slightly different, it's using a slightly different container size. So we'll just update that real quick here. And then I'll see if I can just grab, I mean, this might end up being like the quickest thing ever if I can just figure out a way of maybe passing in a page number and then getting these things to paginate. So yeah, we're good there. It's loading, so we're getting the scrolls. I definitely probably should do something like H1, H2 or something. Like profiles, Ryan Hefner follows on Bluesky or something. I don't know. All right, so we got that. Now, really, we just need, now we need pagination. So let's go back over here to code view. So actually, I don't think I pulled you over because I ended up doing it so fast, but essentially I already had this component here that I was just throwing in this tab panel, and it's follows results. And inside here, it handles everything from like, it uses this use follows hook, and it requests the next page when the handler is in view. My thinking is that I can actually just maybe add an optional page number into this thing, and then control what is being fetched by the use follows, as well as I mean, we already have the has next page. I guess I need to go into use follows and see what's going on over here. So I'm using the use infinite query from Tanstack, React query stuff. And the pages are using a cursor. I guess I can just surface the cursor. It might actually already do that. Has next page. Yeah, next page doesn't exist. Oh, I think I can get from the pages. If I grab the last page, probably. So follows, pages. If I get the last one, or actually for now, I'll just get the first one to see what I get. I have something here. Guess what's on those pages? Let's see. I can just. In here, I can. Yeah, page to the cursor. There we go. So if I grab the last page, I have that cursor. And I guess I could just throw that in here for the href. So it'd be profile /actor /follows /page, but it won't be page, it'll be cursor. And then follows dot pages. Yeah. Sorry, I'll move this over here so you can actually see it. Trying to be better about this. Follows /pages. Follows pages dot length +1. And grab the cursor off that. Actually, for now, I'll just that looks like it should be good. We're going to modify this in view fetch component to basically just not trigger this. So that way we can at least see, I ideally see this link that's there. Refresh this page just to I saw load more. What do we got here? Yep, follows cursor. That didn't change, but I also am not really passing the cursor in yet. So we're getting warmer. Go back to code view real quick. So yeah, so we have our load more. It's getting the cursor. Now we basically just need to route it back to here. It will be another param that will pull off of the header. But should we just do it in follow results? Cursor. It's going to be a number, right? No, string. Yeah. Okay. So we have our cursor. And then we'll pass that into use follows. So let's see what we have in use follows. Oops, not use follow. So many of these things are just way too similar. So we can add the cursor here as an optional thing. Initial data, get next page, initial page param. I think we can do cursor. But I'm not sure how this is going to work because that's fine for the initial, but it's expecting the way the whole use infinite query thing works. I think it really relies on calling that fetch next page in order to get to go. But for this, actually, since this is kind of a browser thing, maybe the move isn't actually to do like the nice thing and do like server side, or like client side routing and fetching and stuff, but actually just do the server side route. So if I remove that link, it means it's not going to use the next router. And in theory, it'll append the cursor as a query param, and then the follows page will see that. The one thing I don't, I need to, all right, I like that. Oh, you already know me. You know me so well. Let's see. And we'll pass this in. Does not exist on read-only URL. Oh, I see. search params. Then cursor would be that. Well, I guess null's fine. Or undefined. Okay. Let's see. Actually, right now we might have a cursor in there. So if I refresh this, it starts with Ben. And then we get Aaron. And we get Expo. And we get Fair Jones. And I also need to make the href conditional on the, so follows results, has next page. So that actually should be like that. And then stop showing me that. Pass the undefined if it doesn't have a next page. So that way it won't render the link. And I think we can add, well, actually, no, we won't add that back yet. So we have Molly. All right. No way to go back yet. But I don't know if we need to worry about going back. That might be it. Okay, so that's for follows. I do think I'm gonna have to do some stuff up here, but kind of ending up with the the slightly hacky optimized for browsability Google thing. So followers. And I think I should actually just be able to do followers results and then update followers results to do the same thing. And now I have the followers page. And then I know the, oh, sorry. Yeah. I know like a good test case for someone who has or who happens to appear in a ton of starter packs. So the starter packs in, I think I know the perfect person to kind of be able to navigate that and see. Okay. Yeah, followers page. So we're looking good there. Now I need to update use followers to support the cursor. Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like slow then fast. Like once you kind of get it roughed in, the idea is that you can just rinse and repeat. because I wasn't sure if I was actually, I mean, I don't know. I figured I could get a few of these done, but if I could get like followers, and the starter packs, I mean, I'm good, and then we'll deploy this tonight. Might need to mix up the music though. Let's see here. Anyone have any recommendations? This is a good mix of stuff. Okay, so we added that. We have cursor set up there. We need to set up the href on that. So let's see what we have over here. We'll just grab the, oh wait, I'm looking at the same thing. I need to look at follows results. We'll grab this href. Okay. This might be another routing thing. Okay. No. What do we have? Followers. Followers. Breadcrumb should be followers. Did somehow this one get updated? No, it says follows. Followers. Followers. Where's that coming from? I think we might need to bounce the service. There we go. So followers. I think that's doing it. Cool. All right, I am going to do one little thing here. This, I know no one's going to see it, but sometimes you just got to make stuff look a little bit better than, leave it better than you found it or something. I am just going to do this, I think. So I'll just link up a div. Oh yeah, we don't need this anymore, so that's cool. And might as well just do Actually, it should probably be a flex, but I'll fix that. Let's do a little of that. And we already have a flex, so that's good. One less import. And we'll justify that content center and then add a little padding, and then let's make a little box that makes that a little bit nicer. In the event that someone does end up on this page, at least it's not total hackery. Oops. Get out of my way. Tooltip. Second work? No, because it's in that A. Yeah, just get weird. There we go. And we'll justify content. And we'll just center it. There we go. That's at least a little bit nicer. I guess if we really wanted, that'll work. Although I'm kind of curious why some of those ones, what's going on? Let's see if I can go back a couple pages. Like, where am I getting, like, what's going on here? It's like it's not getting a full page result. I don't know. Not that big of a deal. Cool. So we have follows, we have followers. I guess let's just keep this train rolling. We might as well do the starter packs page, I guess. So this will be starter packs that person appears in. Profile starter packs page. And since this one's nested under another thing, we gotta just tweak imports a little bit. So this one's not using follow results. So this is going to be slightly different. And I don't have the starter packs in that kind of nice little component thing with the infinite scroll. So that's actually one of the, probably going to address two things real quick. So for instance, if I go back over here, you see I kind of have this thing scrolling off into like no man's land, or off the void or off the page. My initial thought was that in the event that someone has starter packs that they appear in, I didn't want to have to like push the follows and followers all the way down, but I actually wanted to add like maybe some like next and previous buttons and then scroll these things in. And then when you get to the end of this list, actually send someone over to I guess the page that we're going to be building next, where essentially you can then start drilling in and paging through, either paging or scrolling these starter pack results. And similar to this, like, I guess I've created 4 starter packs here. I think if someone had, 10 or 15, it would be a little bit heavy to have all of those at the top here and then really push down the follows and followers down. So I think I might end up doing something similar as this, but actually adding in the buttons and adding in like a final card, like if there are more than the results that appear on this initial page, then allow them to navigate into the starter packs or the starter packs in pages. So, but I don't really want to build all that right now. So I think I'm just going to build the actual pages, and then I'll go back and I'll refactor this to where it'll be like a little scrolly thing, and maybe I'll figure out a way to make it nice on mobile so you could kind of thumb through these things. But for now, we'll focus on the page, and then I'll come back and update the profile. So I know I have a person who has a ton that they appear in. I don't recall anyone who has like a ton of starter packs that they've actually created themselves. So it would be cool to find a example of that, or maybe I just really need to get curating more and make a ton to test with, I guess. But yeah, I'd say this is probably like the most, I guess, kind of half-assed thing going on the site right now, is this thing that's kind of not really visible to most people, because right now it's hidden behind a subscription. So you'd have to have a subscription to see starter packs that people appear in. But so I guess that's why I haven't really cleaned it up yet. No one's really subscribed other than myself, I guess. But yeah. So we'll get building the pages, and then we'll come back and make like a little swipey component. That'll probably end up being tomorrow. We'll just get the pages going today. And part of that will be, I guess, creating this component that will paginate this stuff. But actually, in the meantime, let's update we're going to update the profile page itself to use that new profile header, which would be cool. So I think that's, oh, I have other things commented out. It's going to get rid of so much stuff from this page. It's going to be so good. Nothing better than deleting code. Yes. So much code deleted. Well, eventually. Yeah, so if we don't have this, and we don't have the handle follow click, and we don't have any of this stuff, and avatar border goes away. I think that gets rid of, oops, so sorry. It gets rid of all this. Sorry, you're like missing out on my joy of deleting a bunch of code. I don't know if I'm gonna, do I really? Oh, I guess. Let's see where we end up. Man, what else can we get rid of? I mean, eventually, I guess we're going to get rid of these two. And those. Magical. Oh, I see. That's going to throw a little bit of a wrench in stuff. Although technically, I think I need to pull that into here. So I'll have this as profile prop. So yeah, let me undo that refetch. So I think I need to move this into here, or into our profile header. Oh, this is fine, sorry. Because this is basically what handles all the, oh, I actually already have it. So I really need this memo thing. And then I need to change this to profile prop. I guess profile props. Don't care for the plural. We'll clean that up now. So profile prop. Essentially what ends up happening is we have this use profile. We have the actor. Although we're not disabling it, right? What are we doing here? Enabled and actor. It's enabled. We lost something in the mix here. Or it just wasn't set up properly in here. Let's see what's in the profile card. Essentially, there's like a scenario where even though we get the profile, yeah, I just don't think it was set up properly. So actually, this will fix the profile page. There's a scenario where, let me think about this real quick. Yeah. Essentially, after we do a follow, we need to refetch the profile. And that means that also because we're already getting the profile from the server side render, it's going to be like in conflict with the new profile that's in there. So that's why we basically have the query. And if we have the query, then that overrides the props. And I guess I didn't optimize the profile page, but I did optimize the profile cards just because there's so many of them, where essentially I would disable the use profile so that way it wouldn't refetch all of the profiles that we're rendering if we've already kind of like fetched that whole collection. But in the event that you follow someone, so use follow on success, it will then call the refetch, and I thought there's a enable local. Yeah, and if you do the follow click, it basically sets the fact that you're fetching and that you're going to be using the local profile, and then does a little, it either unfollows or follows you, and then enables the use profile to run. So I can either force the refetch, or I can have it based on enable local profile. Let's force refetch. Oh, that's something I had to do when doing the follow all. So essentially, on a starter pack page, if I do follow all, I'm kind of just grabbing all the user DIDs and doing that. And then once that follow all resolves, I basically set the force refetch to true on all those profile cards that are rendered on that page. And then that will then enable the use profile to basically like refetch those profiles individually, and then continue to use the that local, basically the fresh query from that point forward. So there's some little trickeries around basically not having the page load 50 profiles every time you render a card if you already get it from the set, but at the same time keep the data fresh when doing follows. So I'm gonna port that over to the profile header, and then I think we're good, because that's the only other place. And then now that actually kind of consolidates stuff across all those pages, and it will work like this other stuff, which is cool. Cool. So it also means that I don't have to do these. I can actually just do profile here, and this doesn't rely on any of the following status in here. So that even simplifies this page more, and I can delete this since I'm not refetching, and we're not. I still need that. Still need this for now. Oh man, this page just got. If I can keep everything under 200 lines of code, that's like, oh, I'm even going to get more. This is amazing. It's the little things, Yeah. Whew, 185. We might even be, let's go lower. Well, I guess once we get the starter pack stuff out of here, that stuff's going away into it. But yeah, that's looking much better. So let's just do the starter packs page. Oh, thank you. I'll be sure to try to get some viewers. Rad. But yeah. Let's get back here. So we have the starter packs page. Oh no, this is the. Sorry, this is the. Yeah. So we don't have this yet. It would be cool to have that, which essentially I'm talking about the followers results, like some sort of consolidated list of starter packs. I mean, that makes sense for the scrolling thing. For now, I'm just gonna, well, I got too much stuff open over here, but I'm gonna close up some of this stuff. But I'm gonna grab the, I guess I'm gonna grab this grid one, because this is the closest to what we need here. It's really just this, I think. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to make a component real quick. So we're going to do a starter packs grid component. And you're just going to pass in an array of starter packs. And that's pretty much it. Oops. I keep doing that. And I'll just do a show creator, which will be a Boolean. So that way I can kind of control it. So obviously you don't need to show the creator on profiles or on starter packs or on a profile, because it's assumed that obviously that person made them, but cool. So we'll go back here. And you're close, cursor. You were close. This one will actually be false. And starter packs dot starter packs. Yeah, starter packs grid. And no need to carry over that kind of double nesting thing. That should be more of an outside issue. Cool. All right, so I think we're still looking good there. Let me just toggle that show creator flag just so we can make sure that, yeah, that we're getting what we want. So that looks good. So that reduced some code. And then that's basically what we're going to use on these pages, I think. And then we'll figure out the different ways that we want to query for those. So we have those two hooks already set up. Man, this is kind of going fast. Digging it. Use actor starter packs. I don't think right now I know I don't have a way of paginating these, so I'm gonna have to add that to that hook. But it shouldn't be too bad. And our profile is a full profile. And so this is really, I think it'd be profile.handle. Use actor starter packs. Yeah, I think so. Let's see what we got in there. Yeah. Should this be the handle? Or I could do the DID. So yeah, this is just using use query. We have the limit. We have no way of paginating these right now. And they're all hitting Bluesky directly. We're not using the, so I kind of have like a Bluesky API proxy in my API that, when a user's authenticated, it'll route it through there, and then it kind of gets all the authenticated responses from the API and then like routes that back to the app. Because the starter packs themselves, like at the top level, at least for this kind of like the card display purposes, we don't really need to worry about an authenticated request for getting the actual starter pack, like top level information. It really is like you only need to have the list, and like specifically like the list items to be requested with authentication. So that way you can actually see whether you're following someone or not. So that's why this one's a little bit different than the other ones. But I guess I need to go in and see what the other param is. I think it might actually accept a cursor if I'm not mistaken, but I think I need to go look at the code real quick. I'll just look at the HTTP. So get actor starter packs. Yeah, cursor. And limit is default 50. Possible value is less than or equal to 100. So I think I have it. This is one of those ones where I think I probably, so I'm not specifying a limit and nor am I passing one here. So I'm getting 50 on that profile query. I think I actually probably want to change that to maybe 25 on the profile and then 50 on the paging for here. So maybe I don't need to change it at all. But I am gonna update this, so I'll pass it a cursor. And then I need to add cursor as an optional string we could pass here. And then I need to pass the cursor if I want the cursor. And then add that as a query key. Okay, so we have the grid. And then the one thing that we don't have in this page, like we had in the followers results, or the follows results, is we don't have our in-view fetch thing, which we can just, for now, I guess we can throw it in the starter packs grid. What the heck? And then we'll just give it a, well, technically we're not fetching anything here. Yeah, for now we'll just, but it also doesn't have has next page. Maybe we do need to make this a infinite query. Decisions. Yeah, it probably makes sense. So if I use follows, that's an infinite query. We'll add that as an option. Okay. And this will no longer be the cursor, but we'll do the page param. So use actor starter packs. I think that might be it. So I got the crack a can here. Cool. So oops. So yeah, so I just converted this over to use infinite query. I added the additional options in for that. Updated the page param to set the cursor on the request. And I feel like that should be good. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that API returns the cursor in the response. So we should be good there. So now if I go back to the starter packs page, pass in the cursor. You make this optional. I guess technically this Boolean should be optional too. It'd be pages. And then we would expose the has next page, is fetching next page. Not using that. File.handle. Starter packs. And the cursor would be And then we need to have the handle in view. Which actually, what happens if let's update this in view fetch thing to where let's make this optional. Because for the scenario, well, actually, we're probably just end up using a different component for the actual profile page itself. But probably good just make that optional anyways. And then we'll do the in-view fetch. And we might have this already. Let's go see. Okay. We got one page. Let's do the in. It's going to be slightly different, but it'll be pretty close. So we're just going to grab all of it. And we'll make it starter packs in page. It's going to be a slightly different query. That's right. So I had to fix some of this stuff. But basically, this is like a like hacky on-demand way of if someone was to like go look at their profile, essentially it would still load it based off of so essentially like your profile or your like the profile data. How's it go? Actually, you can see right here. So the profile has associated and then it has starter packs. So essentially, if this exists on the profile, it means that there are starter packs that this user, that profile has created. And this is basically my hacky way of, if those existed, it means that this hook, basically this starter packs would be resolved with data because it would be fetched because these exist. And then if they exist, let's loop through them, get all the URIs, and then I basically have this hook here that was my way of kind of like on demand adding starter packs to the like directory if someone viewed their profile. So some of the other sites, you'll see where you could like submit a starter pack or submit an app or something like that to the directory. I kind of didn't want anyone to have to do it. I had a feeling like if anyone's going to do it, they're just going to like look at their own profile, and then just by them doing that, all of their starter packs basically get added to the directory behind the scenes, and then they also just get to see them like instantly. So yeah, that was just like a little hack attack trying to figure out a way of, in addition to the fire hose, is there like what are some other ways that I can quickly add starter packs like as people are just like browsing the site. So that's what this little hook thing is doing, which is why I guess in theory I could actually add it to here as well, but yeah, what the heck? I feel like it really only makes sense on the profile page. The only downside is it's only going to grab in the event that someone's like a crazy, not to say it's crazy, but if someone has gone wild creating a bunch of starter packs, it's only going to do the first 50 or so. So I could play around with this a little bit. Or if I add it here as well. Yeah, what the heck? Might as well add it to this page as well. But not the in. Just the root starter packs page. Because this is actually based off the profile. The in is actually a completely different different type of query. Because it's querying the packs that I already know of, as opposed to packs that haven't been discovered yet. Oh, that's right. This is like a local one because I wasn't going to include this in that library I was writing. I think someone also, I thought I was going to be like the first one with a React-Bluesky library. I could have published it probably a while ago. Didn't. Someone beat me to it on NPM, so they win. They win. All right, yeah, we'll capture these ones. It could be kind of cool. And I think the way that this is going to work is essentially because we're hitting this page fresh every single time with a cursor. I think it's only going to ever have a single page essentially in this coming from this infinite query. So I think that should be good. And I can just always rely on just only ever grabbing the first one because we're not going to use this. I guess the only reason, if we wanted to, and someone was to just hit starter pack slash or like profile, handle slash starter packs. I mean, I guess in theory we could actually have it be like an infinite scrolling list. Actually, yeah, let's just actually do it. So we'll add a handle in view to this, and then we'll actually just enable that. And that's actually, this will be the page that will throw people to when they hit the end of that list on the actual profile page. So it does mean that I will might want to make this page a little bit more than just a breadcrumb in a grid, but for now, this will be fine. Okay, so which means that actually I need to go back here. I'm just going to disable this on InView just to make sure we got what we need. Actually don't have, again, this is one of those ones where I need to find an example of someone who's like just created a ton of starter packs. All right, we got this. This will be good. Now we'll grab this and we'll go back into the in and actually just swap this one out with this. Starter packs in page. And we're going to use a different hook on this one. Is there some more errors that we got going on here? Oh, yeah. So that's going to be, yeah. you know. Okay. So starter packs in is this other hook here, which doesn't really, it's definitely right now because it's behind a, essentially in order to get the end, you actually have to have like you have to have a subscription. Oh yeah, I don't want to do ad. I need to do this one. And I also need to do the ad. Don't need the ad. That's right. And also that means I don't need the URIs. We will update the use starter packs in to support the infinite query. And do the refresh on mount, add that as an option. And we'll want to add the cursor. Want to add that. Okay. So starter packs in, you'll see this is basically a, oh yeah, actually page param, but the page param will be the cursor. I'm also going to probably have to do a update to that endpoint to support pagination or cursor offsetting, but we can do that. So yeah, this is like a starter packs only API endpoint, and basically I have to query my own directory of starter packs because I've done the linking, like the reverse linking of which actors are in which starter packs. So that's where this one's slightly different than the use actors starter pack query, which just hits Bluesky directly. Cool. So we can add all the stuff we need for that. We get the profile, and that's the handle. And then we have the starter packs in. Still, every time I hear this song, if people are listening to this stream, you got to listen to this song. It's so good. I think I posted on Twitter. I'll throw it in the chat if I didn't, but it's so good. Chat if I didn't, but it's so good. Yeah, there I go. Just posted it in there. This AC Acoustics band, it's so good. It's definitely kind of has like that, like Dinosaur Jr. or Built to Spill kind of stuff. It's so good. So guitar jammy. But then also has these weird courses. I don't know. It's wild. Actually, it sounds like almost like a weird like vocoder, uh, like vocoder chorus thing going on. I don't know. Whatever it is, I like it. Cool. So we have starter packs. I mean, I guess, man, are we gonna have this? Is this just gonna work? Starter packs /in. The cursor I am not passing in, so pass that in. It will be I don't have any enabled stuff. I actually might need to go back and listen to that last one. But then promise ring is also rad to get into. Starter packs in. Yeah, I probably wasn't getting it because I don't think I was. Let's see. Don't need that. And what are people jamming on right now? It's like almost 1 a.m. here. But if I can get all 4 of these pages knocked out, I'm going to be stoked on this. So I guess let's do some logging and see what we're getting back here. And we'll update starter packs in /in. Just to make sure we're actually looking at the same thing. Okay. Let's see. Did it not like the query? Oh, I know why. Because I need to be authenticated. Okay. We got pages. Page params are undefined, but we are getting items. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Oh, starter packs in pages 0 items. That's where we got to go. That's where we went wrong. So maybe I should just change those to starter packs then in that query. Just that way it's like basically mirrors what Bluesky API would return. That probably makes sense. So if I go to the API Bluesky controller, should be a /in somewhere up here. No? Oh, maybe it's under Starter Packs controller. Yeah, because I'm not proxying it. Okay, so I have the in and the handle, and instead of instead of items, essentially, I'll just do this as starter packs, and I'll return that and update all this other stuff. Cool. Oh, I guess I do have the cursor, but I'm not using it in any of the queries. Oh, I'm not using it for the count. I am using it in the starter packs. Yeah, cursor ID. Okay. Right. And I have the limit, and I'm using the limit. All right, this might just work. All right, so I'm trying to remember the person who has a ton of starter packs that they're in. I believe I am following them. Am I? Let's go search. That's it. Is that his name? Yeah. I think this dude's like has a crazy ton starter packs that he's in. I mean, it makes sense. He has 67,000 followers, but let's see. Are we getting results back here? Oh, hold on. Let me bump stuff real quick. I don't think it liked the fact that I made that. Made that API update for some reason. I think that's where. So I'm using NX to 404. I was just to say, so I'm using NX to manage like the monorepo, and so this project basically has like 4 apps. It has the site, which is NextJS, and that's hosted on Vercel. It has the Firehose, and it has the API. Firehose is a Nest, N-E-S-T, like JS app. It's super light. It's like I think it just has like a single controller and then some processors for like Q stuff, and then the API is also in NestJS. But because you run one command to basically spin up all these apps in NX, and then I also have like the Firehose running in a local Redis server that the Firehose is using for like the Q jobs. Sometimes it just gets weird where like I make an update to the API and it just doesn't quite recognize it. This might explain why we're not getting some of this stuff. So Yeah. Oh, I should see. I should see what they do for the total count. It probably doesn't come back on a page. It probably comes up higher. That'll resolve some of that, but that's also under the assumption that I'm actually getting a response back. But for some reason, I'm getting 404 for his request. Why would I get a 404? Oh, right. Where's the N? That's probably why. Is subscribed, actor.account subscription link, and user.account subscription length. So yeah, so oops, what the heck? Let me bump it again real quick. So yeah, this is one of the things I've actually been thinking about. I'm not going to add it tonight, but maybe I'll add it tomorrow. The whole exposing like which feature packs someone is in, or like which feature packs you're in. Right now, it's requires that the person has a subscription, but I actually think I want to change that and maybe make it to where that's like a free thing. It's just you just have to connect your Bluesky account in order for those results to be returned, just because essentially because it is hitting my API. Not that it actually means it's actually going to cost much, but let's bypass this for now. Oops. And bump it again real quick. But thinking that like essentially I would bypass the request if the user isn't subscribed. And actually, I probably should actually add an enabled on there and have it to where that request is also disabled on the front end. So I'm not just getting a bunch of 404s when I know that that person isn't logged in on the front end. Okay, so bang, we're in. Okay. So I had to hack the system a little bit, but let me get back in there. I guess really not hack the system. It's just like get around my own code. So actually, I guess he only has 159 locally here, but I only have 44,000 starter packs loaded from in my local. But we will go to starter packs and just make sure that this page, well, he doesn't have any starter packs, so probably should do an empty state there at some point. We'll not do it right now. And then we'll go to starter packs in. And what happened? What happened? Oh, I know exactly what it is. Because I added that refetch on mount and I didn't specify that it was true, it actually didn't fire that initial query on mount, I think. I don't even see, oh, there's the request. There's the, oh, I'm getting starter packs. Let's see, we're on the in. Oh, that's why. Because I didn't go back and change my fix. And now that's unified to where we're getting that. Okay. And then let's see, what's the first one here? Mike Babbins. Is it going to /n? No. Okay. Update that. We'll go back to where we were. And we'll load the next one. Paul's starter pack. There should be a third one. And technically there should be a fourth one. And then we don't get any more. So that's right. All right, so rad. Cool. Actually, I could. Could end up doing something like this. Appears in. And that would also mean that it'd give me like another link back to this one, even though it doesn't make sense for him so much. But if I wanted to have more links just drive into more pages on the site. Well, it doesn't really matter. These are, unless I open this up for the crawlers, they're not actually going to find this page. That's interesting. Do I just expose it for everyone? That's a good question. Well, for now, I'm gonna start pushing up what I have here. Make sure I'm actually on a branch here. Oh, it's editor updates. That's not what I want to do. Okay, so let's start adding some of our new components. Yeah, I'm going to spare you the terminal action. Just going to start getting some commits up into a PR to merge in. So we have the new profile header that we did. We have the starter packs grid, which actually I could go back and add to the profile page. Yeah, I might as well just do that right now. Get delete more stuff. Or actually, I already did that. Yeah. I guess the question is, do I do that with this one too? Maybe like a starter packs scroller or something. No, what do they call those? Why am I blanking on the name? I guess scroller's fine. Yeah, we'll address that later. So yeah, this thing looks good to go. So actually add all those new profile pages because I had to move that one around. So that's now under a directory. Well, actually, what do I need to do before I do that? Update the followers results. Yeah. And the follows results. I wonder how long it's going to take. How long do you think it's going to take Google to find this stuff? I feel like I need to go in and make sure that there's no crawling errors, so that way they don't get gummed up. Excuse me. That's a problem with fizzy. Fizz. Cool. So yeah, we're going to update the use starter packs in, so it now uses the infinite query. We're going to use actor starter pack that also updated to use infinite query. Let's see. Oh, I guess use followers and use follows was also updated. Oh yeah, we added the cursor. since those are basically the same, those are going in the same one. Cursor support to use followers. Oh, that's right. I typed something. That's right. Update in view fetch. Cool. All right. I think I need to update the controller. Although I need to. Why wasn't this loading for me? Let me go back here real quick. Actually, let me just get these. I'll get these things in. Yeah, what was going on here? Is subscribed. Basically, it's looking at the actor. It finds them. Oh, la la. Could it be that? No, he has to be in the database because he's getting starter packs returned for his account. So basically, does the person I'm looking at have a subscription, or does the person making the request have a subscription? And yet it was loading for me when I looked at my account. So account subscriptions on the actor. Is this thing wrong? I think this thing's wrong. Let's see. When in doubt, log it out. So technically this page should query for the in. Yeah, okay. But what did I get for the account on there? Undefined. Current user. Use starter packs in. It's using the client. Let's see. It's passing the token. Huh. What to do? Oh, it's like accounts aren't maybe being. Let me bump it again. Because, I mean, those are definitely all working. User with account, user with account. Public. Mm, interesting. I bet it's something with the guard. Yeah. Uh, um, actually, yeah, this doesn't need to be there, I don't think. Let's see. Can activate. Hmm. Well, I feel like we're close. I'm going to dig into this more, but I'm going to get these other things up because it's really just, yeah, I'm going to add the pages right now. We'll get those pushed up and then I'll look into this API endpoint, but I'm going to do that off stream, but I'll at least get this up. And once I dig into that, these are going to go live and they're going to be out tomorrow. Add new profile pages. So yeah, it's really just that one endpoint. And actually, you know what? What do I do? What do I do? If I wanted to, I could just open it up and just make it available for everyone. Essentially what I just did. And I'll just see what happens. My one hope was though that this would be like a little bit of a carrot to get people to at least connect their Bluesky account to starter packs. So that's my one hesitation. Actually, I'm gonna fix this because I still think that's valid. I'm gonna say that they don't have to have a subscription, but they have to obviously be a currently logged in user. So actually, I guess if that's the case, I could simplify this. Basically, if not user, have an unauthorized exception, and then actually, I won't make this public. And I will update the use starter packs in to have support and enabled that I can pass in via the options. And then find the instances of use starter packs in. So essentially, this will be enabled if I have a user. Not user agent. And I'll come in via the props. Just make sure. Have a user that's enabled. Did I save this? Yeah. And then what's my other instance of use starter packs in? It's on the in page. And actually in this one, I would also have a user. So yeah. Don't need that log anymore. Okay, so assuming that this is all working right, I'm actually going to bounce the server just to make sure that the API updates made their way in. Okay. Some authenticated 424. So interesting. Get follows. Failed dependency. Oh, right. Cursor needs to be optional. Is that right? Failed dependency. I feel like I actually just ran into this another time. I thought it was for this thing now. Because I mean, obviously before right here, I clearly had it to where this didn't have to be included in there. Failed dependency though. It's like current users not being Uh, nope. All right. I'm gonna have to dig into this later, but thanks for sticking around. I hope this is fun. Oh, I didn't have you in the code view. So yeah, so essentially these pages are going to get out tomorrow. I'm gonna look into what's going on with this one request and why it's not quite lining up. I mean, I might have just done something quick and foolish, but yeah, and so we'll see how it goes. I'll be reporting back as far as like if this helps with any of the indexing or SEO stuff going on. I have a feeling it will, but that's also kind of like a slow game, and I might be tweaking a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so leave it there. So I'm gonna fix this controller thing, or this request thing, and see how it goes. But hopefully this was like fun and entertaining. Hopefully y'all are jamming on some fun stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Have a great one. Later.